Hello everybody, this is a presentation on a hybrid-based term extraction method on the Arabic text of the Qur'an by Samir Al-Rihaili and Eric Atwell. We're from Taiba University and the University of Leeds. Here's a brief outline of our paper. I'm going to start with some definitions of what we're trying to do and look at a bit of related work, then outline our methodology and some of the results we've got. Extraction is essentially unsupervised machine learning, so a big problem is evaluating the results, and then we end up with some conclusions about what. So term extraction is the process of extracting the words and phrases that are relevant, that are important in a given text. Terms can just be one word or a multi-word group of words. Multi-word terms are usually more precise or less polysemous or ambiguous than single words. And also, in an ontology or description of concepts in a particular domain, most terms are multi-word. So extracting terms from a document usually involves three steps. Firstly, generating a set of candidate terms, and then scoring each of the candidates, and then some form of validation to make sure that the best terms, the highest scoring ones, are correct. Most of the work on term extraction has been done on English documents, extracting keywords and phrases. There's not that much work on Arabic, and as far as applying it to the Qur'an is concerned, we've only found 3 other related works. But there's still clearly a need to improve the accuracy and to come up with evaluation metrics for these. So our methodology has been to collect some data. In this case, the Qur'anic Arabic Corpus website does have the text of the Qur'an in readily extractable form, and this was originally procured from the Tanzil project, so it is authentic. And we had to have a list of syntactic patterns which would find these terms. To do that, we had to start with an example chapter number 29, to copy and to examine. And then having found the patterns, then we have to extract the patterns from the rest of the text, weight the candidates and rank them. So here's an example of some grammatical patterns. As I said, we looked at chapter 29 and saw what sorts of patterns seem to correspond to key words and phrases. And then we could generate these patterns and then find the phrases which match these patterns. Having got a long list of word tag sequences, part of speech tag sequences which match the patterns, then we had to calculate the weights, and we tried using linguistic knowledge and also probabilistic knowledge. Here's 3 different metrics for calculating how important a word or phrase is. The result was a number of candidates, and here they are ranked after weighting as the top 10 candidates. Now, I deliberately didn't give a lot of detail about what these top 10 candidates were, because evaluation is important, but it's not clear how you decide that you've got the right results. Because unlike supervised learning, where there is a gold standard correct analysis to compare against, in unsupervised learning, we have to use human judgment as to see how good it is. So what we did is we took 2 experts who looked through the chapter in question and decided for each verse how many key words and phrases they thought were important. And here we see a top that more or less the two experts agreed, more or less, for each verse, how many words and phrases there were. And here we have the same two experts and three other sources of concepts. The other thing you can do is calculate the average precision of the top n terms. So we calculated the average precision of the first 1,000 terms. And that gave us a score because average precision is an accepted metric in term extraction for English and other languages. And then you can come up with a recall precision graph for the top n terms, and here we have for the first 1,000 extracted terms. And it shows that it's reasonably, it jumps a bit, but then it's more or less steady after a while. So in conclusion, we presented a method to identify the terms from the Arabic text of the Qur'an. And the challenge here was dealing with Arabic, partly because many words in Arabic are compound, they're not just a single part of speech tag. And we had ways of assessing these against three types of evaluation. The data sets from previous studies of the Qur'an are not complete in that they haven't tried to extract all the terms from each verse, which explains to some extent why there is a variation between the different ontologies or different sets of terms. So what we can do is try to cover a combination of all the different ways of extracting terms. We evaluated the extracted terms against this average precision and achieved a measure of up to 0.81 for the top 200 terms, which is reasonably good as a state-of-the-art term extraction methods for English as well. Okay, if you want any more details, feel free to contact Sameh Al-Rihaili and Eric Atwell at Leeds University and Taiba University. Thank you very much.